So an argument is valid. Let's see. An argument is valid if it is not possible for the conclusion to be false given all of the premises are true, okay? The argument is valid if it is not possible for the conclusion to be false given all the premises are true, and invalid. An argument is invalid if it is possible for the conclusion to be false when all of the premises are true. Okay, so that would be invalid. Now, the way that you should think about working these problems is this. Try to show the argument is invalid. That means try to find a case where all the premises are true and you have a false conclusion. That's invalid. Okay? If you can't find that, then an argument is either valid or invalid. If you can't find that it's invalid, it must be what? Valid. Okay? So that's how you're going to think about it. Now, all of that was in the abstract, so let's do a couple of problems so that this becomes much more clear. Okay. So I'm doing number 1 on 3.7. We have F, Q, and X. F, Q, and X. Those are the statement constants. And the way you read these is the lines of the, so 1, 2, and 3 would be the premises, and 4 would be the conclusion. Whatever is below that little line is the conclusion, okay? Okay, well, I gotta write the premises out. Premise number 1 is F if and only if X. That's premise number 1. Premise 2 is not X. Premise 3 is not F, then Q. And then the conclusion is Q. Okay? So now using the truth table, we have to determine whether this is valid or invalid. Okay, so let's do some thinking. I said the best way to go about this is to try to prove that it's invalid. Okay, so we're looking for a case where the premises are true and the conclusion is false. So the very first thing we should do is calculate the conclusion. Okay? And in this case, there's nothing to calculating the conclusion because the conclusion is just Q. So we're just going to rewrite this line over there. So Q would be true, true, false, false, true, true, false, false. Okay, now we can eliminate some work. We said we're looking for a case of true premises and a false conclusion. So that means wherever the conclusion is true, that doesn't help us find a case of invalidity. So I'm going to cross out all the lines where the conclusion comes out true. This doesn't help me, this doesn't help me, this doesn't help me, this doesn't help me. So I eliminated all the places where the conclusion was true. Okay? So let's see if line 3 shows if it's invalid or not. So we have F if and only if X. F is true, X is, what, I'm on this line. True and true. True if and only if true is what? True. Okay, so since it's true, I want to keep investigating because so far, all the premises are true. But let's look at not X. X is true, so not X is false. Okay, so what does that tell me? Remember, I'm looking for a case where all the premises are true. Are all the premises true here? No, so we can eliminate this. We're no longer considering line 3. So let's go to line 4, okay? F is true and X is false. So true if and only if false is false. What does that tell me? That tells me I can eliminate this line from consideration. Okay, we're almost done. We just got these two left to check. Okay, here, F if and only if X, and F is false and X is true. False if and only if true is false. So I can eliminate that line. Okay, so last line, F is false, X is false. False if and only if false is true. Okay, so we're going to keep looking at this line. Next is not X. X is false, so not X is true. So I'm going to eliminate that line. So what did we just discover? The argument is, say valid. Valid, okay? We were trying to find a case that proved it was invalid. We couldn't find one, so it's valid, okay? Let me foreshadow the, not chapter 4, but chapter 5. F, if and only if X is the same as F, then X, and if X, then F, right? Say yeah, right? So think about this. That means that F, then X, but look at line 2, is not X, right? If X, then, if F, then X, but not X, that must mean not F, right? And then look over here. We have not F, then Q, not F, then Q, and we know that not F is true, so we know that Q is true. Yeah, that follows. So the argument is valid, right? So that's foreshadowing chapter 5. Okay. Let me do another one of these, okay? That one was, what did we say? This one was valid, right? I don't have any answers in here, so I just have to look and see. So C, and D, that would be valid. Shoot. I'd rather think. Let me make up one that I know will work instead of like trying to do these in my, oh wait a second. Oh, that's too long. Okay, I'm gonna make up a problem for us. A, then B, B. Let's suppose that's our problem. Okay. So So we're going to try to prove it's invalid. So the first thing we should do is calculate the conclusion, and the conclusion is C. So it's really easy. All we have to do is rewrite this C column, which goes true, false, true, false, true, false, true, false. Which lines do I eliminate? I eliminate the lines where the conclusion is true. Okay? So this means I'm going to eliminate every other one. Okay, so I've reduced my work by half. Okay, so let's do this. A then B. A then B, true then true is true, so we're going to keep going. Okay, B is just true on this line, so we're going to keep going. Okay, and now we have A then C, and look, A then C. True then false is what? Right, false. A then C, false. Okay, so this doesn't show us anything. Okay, so let's go to this next line. A then B, true then false is false, so that eliminates this line, right? So we're down here. A is false and B is true. False then true is true, okay? And now on this one, B is just true, true. And so A then C, A then C. False then false is what? True, okay. So now look what I got. All the premises are true and the conclusion is false. So what does that mean? Invalid. And so what you do is you'd say invalid line